Hello, friends. Very good morning. And yesterday was a Sunday, and something unique happened. The very first time the Indian budget was, described on a Sunday in the parliament. But that is not so unique. I think every Indian is worried about what is going to happen and what is there for them, for me, for you and me, right? And therefore, I actually studied the budget and I did my analysis, which I'm going to offer you in 10 points in a very candid fashion. And I'm live with you. So if you have any questions, you can send it across as well. All right. Point number one is that the Union Budget 2026 shows absolute political confidence. There is no, sops being provided. There is no pleasing of anyone, and that shows that the government feels very strong, and there is absolute political confidence. Why I'm saying this? Because in democracy, political confidence is very, very important. And usually budget is something which describes whether the government is trying to lure somebody or trying to feel very strong. So overall, the budget gives a very clear indication that the government of India feels politically very highly confident. Number 2 point is no benefit given to any state. There are no benefit given to any state. Usually what happens is there are all kinds of state. We know that there are states ruled by the ruling party, and then there are states ruled by the opposition party. But this time in this budget, no concessions or no sops or no extra funding given to any state. And this is an extension of the political confidence that the government has. That means even though there are some states going to polls this year, we know that there are some states will be going for the state government elections. However, the confidence is so high that they don't want to do anything with those states. They don't want to give them extra leverage or anything, even though some of these states may be ruled by themselves, by the ruling party. All right. Point number 3, which is the most important change that the budget has done, and that is the security transaction tax or the transaction fee is increased to 150%. 150%, which is quite high. Now, what is the security transactions? The security transactions is the amount of whenever you actually invest in any stock or any stock market product, there is a transaction fee. And usually what happens is when the markets are very high and economy is doing well, you want to further see that if it basically heats up. But on the contrary, this budget has actually increased the transaction tax or transaction fee to cool down the market, not firing them up. And reason for this it will get cleared in the subsequently when I talk about some other factors. So first thing is that which is the most important thing, is that they've increased the transaction fee by 150%, basically to reduce the whatever the volatility, or instead of firing up the market, they are trying to make the market cool down little bit. All right. Number 4 point is the absolutely, as I mentioned, there are absolutely no extra allocation to any state. Even though the government of India knows that there are very critical states which are undergoing, especially in this year 2026, will be going through the state elections, and winning them will be absolutely important for them. But so one of the tool is in budget they can give extra allocation to some of the states, so that the state party office can use them as a leverage during the election. But this time, no extra allocation to any of their allies as well. This is also very important. So to no allocation to any strata of society, no allocation to any state, and that means this budget is the least anxious budget. That means it's a status quo budget, least anxious. I think that is, as Indian, we must understand these things. There are, this is a year of stability, so that the financially India becomes more stable. Number 5 point is very tough on the futures and options. So people who invest in the future in the stock market, they know about F&O, futures and options. So it's sort of a gambling, but it is basically very popular product. It is much more profitable than investing in any specific company, any trade on a specific company. So a lot of people feel better to invest in F&O, which is futures and options. So what government has done is they want to bring that F&O, which leads to speculation, bring it down. And there is a lot of algo trading which goes on in this area. So what happens in algo, that the smart people create algo and the market opens, algo triggers, and then a lot of money is made doing that. Now there could be a lot of hedging in this. So smart people basically create a company which is in India, and they can create their subsidiary company which is outside India. So if the company is based in India, they are governed by SEBI and the regulations of India. So what they do, they play the market. They either sell or they buy, and they play the market. They start doing that in the morning. By afternoon, the market is in certain condition. If you're selling, the market price will start to rise, and as it as the price increases, the foreign entity basically pick up the stock or sell. So what happens in this is that lot of the middle class people lose money because they don't understand these nuances. They basically look at each trade, and some smart business houses which are very large and they know exactly all their techniques, they make lot of money, millions of money is made in this way. So clear indication is that because to avoid any speculation in the market and to protect the middle class, they don't want, so they are basically toughening their stand on futures and options. Basically they feel that there is a need to protect the middle class here. So even though on the face of it, it looks like there is nothing for general public in this budget, but there is a lot of protectionism which is being provided to the middle class here. How they are doing this? Number 6 point, how they are doing, how they are toughening their stance on F&O, and basically they are increasing the STD, which is the security transaction, transactions, as is known as STDs. They're increasing the cost of these transactions by 3 times. You can imagine how expensive this could become, 300%. So that means there will be no hedging. There will be no mid-market, midday trade, which will wipe out the millions of rupees from the market, and millions and maybe thousands of crores of people lose their money, and only 1 or 2 business houses make money. So because they are making it much more expensive, that means you can't play. And what will happen now? So these foreign agencies are known as foreign portfolio, companies, institutions, FPIs. So FPIs will find it much more difficult to pick up or maintain positions in the stock market, Indian stock market, in a short term. So what government is now forcing is that you can bring money in India, but with a long-term view. Because if you want to do it every day you want to hedge funds, the cost of putting money or taking it out will be very, very expensive. What they have done is they have increased the cost of transaction by 300%, 300 times. So number 7 point is that in this budget, government wants to change the outlook from trading to investing in the India story. So they want to move away from basic trading, because stock market is a big financial institution for India. It has trillions of dollars invested in that market at any moment, at any second. So they don't want to basically create some sort of a they want to basically create a stability. They don't want to basically increase this speculation. So therefore, they want to change from trading to investing in India's story. That is very, very important. That's a very big underlying message the government of India is sending. Now, number 8 point is that what will happen to Indians here? Definitely, when the transaction fee is increased, the SIP, because for last couple of years, the SIP has been advertised. People, if they have small money, they actually buy systematic investment plans. And this is basically affecting the middle class. So SIPs are mostly made by middle class. They invest and they basically store their money there. They invest in the market by way of SIP, systematic investment plans. But government is firm on that because they want to control the speculation on the other side. So this is something which is important. So middle class people who are investing in SIP will be affected, but they can then divert their funds into some other area. But more affected party will be the FPIs, which are the foreign portfolio investors. And because of the SIP thing, the FPI are actually a much smaller group on the stock market as compared to middle class investing in SIPs. All right, so those parties will be affected definitely by this. Now, this budget looks like that there are no special relief or any tax breaks, etc. So this budget is aiming to provide fiscal headroom to because of the geopolitics of the world today. What will happen tomorrow, we do not know. In Ukraine-Russia war, something will happen. Or if Donald Trump decide to invade Iran, something may happen there. Something may happen between India and Pakistan. Something may happen in India and China. So we do not know what is going to happen. Lot of speculation around the geopolitics. So this budget provides fiscal headroom for government to prepare for any eventuality, because the chances are that it may happen in 2026. A lot of ifs and buts. So therefore, this budget is basically a protectionist budget, considering the geopolitical situation. And last point is the increase in the defense budget. So what has happened is that the defense budget has not been increased for last 10 years. It has been at 1.9% of the total GDP. So while the GDP has gone up, and so is the defense budget also, but the percentage of the how much money will be spent towards defense has remained 1.9, even though a lot of experts have already told for past couple of years that every year the budget has to go up. So after 10 years, the defense budget has increased by 10 basis points, which is 2% of GDP now. So it is increase, which is the right way. And this point number 10, links to the previous point about the geopolitics, because if something goes wrong, we need to defend ourselves. So there is extra budget which has been provided for defense, increase from 1.9% to 2% of the GDP. So this is what it is in nutshell. Everything else you may have heard in the news, but this is my analysis with 10 points. And I would like to know from you, what do you think about this? If you have any comments, please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will catch you again in the next one.